Hello, colors. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We begin with João Cancelo, as Barca and Manchester City have not reached an agreement yet for the 50 million rated defender. We are going to discuss on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Neymar, as a new report is claiming that Neymar have agreed personal terms with Al-Hilal and a deal looks very close now. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. In recent days, the rumor mill was fettered with speculations linking João Cancelo with an imminent loan move to the Camp Nou. However, Mundo Deportivo has come up with a detailed update on the future of the Manchester City superstar as he looks to take the next big step in his career. So, contrary to reports earlier this week, Barcelona have not reached an agreement over Cancelo's loan deal to Camp Nou yet. As per Mundo Deportivo, Barcelona are still waiting on Man City to give approval on the right back's loan move. In addition, Barcelona expect Manchester City to agree on a loan deal with no additional cost and a reasonable purchase option that can be activated next year. That means the English champions must move on from their earlier 70 million euros demand for Cancelo and sanction his loan for a much lower fee this year. The report from MD clearly points out that the future of João Cancelo is in the hands of Manchester City. As mentioned earlier, the English champions have not yet approved the deal. Only when they give the green light can Barca pursue a deal. Cancelo, for his part, must settle for a lower salary package if he is to join Barcelona. The defender currently earns a 9 million euros package at the Etihad. Barca are not in a position to match that salary and will ask the player to settle for an inferior package. All three parties, therefore, have a lot to figure out before the Portuguese international can book a flight to Catalonia. Of course, João Cancelo is still a hot target for Barca, as manager Xavi have been prioritizing him from day one as our right back option. Of course, we have been getting a lot of reports these past few days claiming that a move for João Cancelo is looking very close. Personal agreement is already there, and there were also reports saying the Barca and Manchester City have already come to an agreement on the same. But according to this new report, that has not been the case. Talking about the agreement that Barca have with City, it is not yet done. Manchester City are still yet to give a green light on the transfer for João Cancelo. And let's not forget, it is a loan move. It won't be a permanent move because Barca can only afford that. Because if Barca were to go for a permanent, it's going to be very expensive, and Barca don't have the financial capabilities to do just that. So the deal still looks like it's gonna work. Honestly, it's gonna work, but it's just a matter of time. The summer transfer window ends on the 31st of this month, so there's still a little bit of time. But as it stands right now, Man City has still to give a green light. They are still to come to any agreement with FC Barcelona for their player. We know João Cancelo has a very minimal role now under Pep Guardiola's side. The player has had his own issues with Pep ever since last season, and that was the reason why it came as a shock when during the January window he was loaned out to Bayern Munich. And Bayern, even though he played there, but not he was not at his best. But Bayern never really, they had that purchase option for 70 million euros on their loan contract, but Bayern did not activate that. The player did not really impress the then coach Julian Nagelsmann at the time. So, but Xavi Hernandez is still a huge admirer of the player, despite the player being 29, almost to his 30s. Xavi wants him to be there. Xavi believes that he still has some good years ahead of him. Um, of course, talking about right backs, we have been linked with a handful of right backs, like Ivan Fresneda, the 18-year-old, who is much liked by new sporting director Deco, but there have never been a general consensus as to that player. Javi does not see him as having experience enough to play against the big guys, especially in European competition this season. We have been linked with Pablo Maffeo of Mallorca, and we've been linked with Joan Foyt of Villarreal. But from the on-go, João Cancelo have been the biggest name so far that Barca have been linked to, and Xavi's first priority. So let's just keep fingers crossed and see how the coming days will look like as Barcelona continue to push to have a right back, at least a right back, a proper right back before this summer window comes to a close. Then on to the final story of discussion. French publication L'Equipe has affirmed that PSG and Barca linked forward Neymar has agreed personal terms with Saudi Arabia side Al-Hilal. The outlet adds that the Brazil international will sign a 2-year contract with the Middle East side wherein he will receive nearly 160 million euros over the course of his tenure. At the moment, PSG and Al-Hilal are in talks to decide the transfer fee, especially since the 31-year-old's ongoing deal with the Ligue 1 side runs until 2025, with an option to extend it to another year. Earlier reports suggested that as part of his contract with Al-Hilal, the player would move to Barcelona on loan for the 2023-24 season, mostly because he wanted to still have a last hurrah in European football. As it turns out, however, journalist Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that there is absolutely no chance for a loan. As far as Al Hilal are concerned, they have come up with a huge proposal, so much so that not only PSG but even the forward is now tempted by the possibility. The reported figures by various journalists and outlets range between 80 to 100 million euros for the transfer fee, with a bumper salary for the Brazilian. So, guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.